unfairly targeting a community.
A vile, degenerate person that will prey on young, innocent girls does not take race into account. They go after girls, simple. And I think by saying, oh, they go after white girls only, is bang out of order, because what you're doing is turning into a race issue. And it's important to realize this, because what you're doing is that you're diverting from the actual problem, which is that you have these vile, degenerate men who are harming young girls. That's what we need to look at, not say, oh, because they're Pakistani, they're more likely to do this. No, that's rubbish. That's not the case. They picked up whatever girls they could. It just so happened they were white girls. You hear of cases when they went after Bangladeshi girls too. They'll go after girls because they want to target vulnerable people. It doesn't matter who they are. They don't look at race.
Mohammed, so you wanted to come back?
The thing is that a simple freedom of information request into West Yorkshire Police shows that with 53 grooming cases, 47, so 5 cases were Asian, the rest of 47 were white. The thing is, this thing of saying, oh, what we've done is, there's 67 or so cases, we're saying, let's extrapolate from that, it's a Pakistani problem. How can you extrapolate from a small data where you have research groups who've actually spent time on this, saying that data is not reliable enough to extrapolate that it's a Pakistani problem? And then you have people, commentators, saying that it is a Pakistani problem.
Listen, I'm saying there are some
it's a criminal problem within society, not within the Pakistani community. Within society there's a problem. That's how we have to look at it. And when you keep focusing on race, what you're doing is we keep diverting from the fact, what support mechanisms do we have in place for these young girls? And what we do is, by focusing on race, we take away from the actual, saying what actual issues and what is wrong in society that we all need to deal with. Not just saying, oh, you Pakistanis have got a problem, you better deal with it, we're going to come back next year and talk to you about it. We have to all deal with it.
Is that this focus on the word community. There is no homogenous Pakistani community any more than there is a homogenous white community or an Asian community. Yeah. So what you're saying is basically the frame of the question is, well, the Pakistani community should get its house in order, which is a completely silly idea, because people don't want to go out and police their own communities. That is the job of the police, that is the job of the social services and the CPS to deal with this issue, and that's where they have failed, no doubt about it. But this idea that the community should police itself just opens itself up to more abuse, because what you'll have then is local community leaders. Now, this is the same case you mentioned about the Jewish community in New York. In that case, what happened was the Orthodox rabbi leaders themselves went to the police and said, we'll deal with this problem in our own community, right? And so actually makes it worse.
Similar to the Catholic Church, wasn't it?
Exactly. Yes. So actually what you're doing is, if you make it into a community thing, if you make it into a cultural thing, you're making it worse, because what you're saying is essentially that the community leaders have to deal with this. Get generalization, and then you say, well, it's a minority, not a majority, therefore the generalization does not stand. Look, most Muslim women in the UK are abused by Muslim men. You know why? Simply because most rape happens within families. So this idea that somehow they see one class of women or one group of women as untouchable, another
I'm not going to rape you, I'm going to rape her.
It's just completely idiotic. Some of the women abused in these cases were Bangladeshi women.
Exactly.
So, you know, this idea that they are specifically picking out English women and then trying to rape them is silly, because if they had the opportunity to exploit Muslim women or Pakistani women from those communities, they would do it.
Well, I do think that one reason why these girls were all white is that the Asian girls, Muslim girls, Pakistani girls are better protected by their families.
I think firstly, let's get the facts right.
Right.
The vast majority of child sex offenders in this country are white men acting on their own. If you look at offences where the victims are prepubescent, where the victims are boys, where the abuse is within the family, again and again, it's white men acting alone.